Welcome to the Denton campus. I am Jessica DeRoche, Director over the Flower Mound and Denton Exchange campuses. September is Alcohol Awareness and Prevention Month at NCTC, where we're doing educational activities surrounding the effects of alcohol and drugs. Today we're here with members of our Public Safety Office.
Hi, I'm Nicole Shaw. I'm the Chief of Police and Director of Public Safety.
I'm Officer Sam Hall.
I'm Officer Randy Plemons.
And I'm Officer Richard Bayer.
We're also proud to have on our campus Mary Jo Prince, Program Manager over the Brazos Valley Injury Prevention Coalition and statewide initiatives in the Reality Education for Drivers program.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm thrilled to be here today.
Howdy, I'm Mary Jo Prince with the Brazos Valley Injury Prevention Coalition and statewide initiatives, and on behalf of Texas A&M Agrilife Extension Services and the Texas Department of Transportation, we are here at the North Central Texas College Denton campus to talk a little bit about making sure that we are all aware of the consequences of impaired driving. And why? Because September is Alcohol Prevention Awareness Month. And I'm joined today by Chief Shaw from the North Central Texas College Public Safety Office to cover some of these points, because we want all of our students to make sure that they have the greatest experiences while in college by making the right choices. Welcome, Chief.
Well, thank you so much for being here at our Denton campus.
I always enjoy getting to travel the state and meeting new students outside the ones that I have the privilege of teaching. We want to talk about responsibility today, because your students, our students, have made the right choice to go to college, do all the things that it took to get into their preference of degrees and follow their path. And by making the right choices even further, they can live out their dreams. They can be anything they want to be. Today's opportunities are far more extensive than what even some of the ones that we had hoped to have. Share with us a little bit about taking responsibility when it comes to alcohol consumption and even some of the substance abuse that we see going on.
Sure. So decisions we make today can have far-reaching consequences. It's like a ripple effect. Some bad decisions that we may make today can affect truly the rest of our lives.
Sure can.
For instance, if you're underage and drinking and get a citation or anything like that, you may not get the job you want this summer, or you may not get into the program you want, because they're going to check your criminal record to see what kind of decisions you've been making. So, and even if you go to the extent of getting a driving while intoxicated arrest, that arrest record stays with you the rest of your life. And so trying to get into your dream job, trying to get into the military, trying to be an educator, things like that will hinder you from being able to do those things. Just because one bad mistake, one bad night, one bad occurrence, it can truly affect the rest of your life.
That is so true. We try to share the message that one bad mistake or one bad choice doesn't define you, but it sure can have the repercussions that you were not looking for. Such as college students, everybody wants to be financially responsible. Should that choice be made and you have the consequences of the DWI or even an MIP, it's going to mean that it takes a hit on your wallet, on your bank account, anywhere from $300 to $400 to $500 for what some call a simple MIP. DUIs and DWIs on the average right now, but get ready for this, are costing the offender as much as $17,000. And that's just the initial expense, lawyers' fees, court fees, and paying for other, if it goes to trial and it extends the life of the need for the attorneys, you're looking at some major expenses, which is going to really possibly derail your career path and your college path. Let's talk a little bit about also some of the when you do consume alcohol and you didn't really plan on doing so, but we all can get caught up in the moment and we're all having a good time, and someone decides, well, I think I'm not going to be the designated driver after all. I'm going to have a good time and worry about that later. How important is it to make a plan while you can, with all the options out there that we have today, for all kids, as I call them, kids of all ages? how important it is to make that plan and stick with the plan once you have made it.
Right. I don't want to sound, out of whack, but it could be the decision between life and death. I mean, it absolutely could mean your life or the death of yourself or someone you love or your friend or a stranger. It could be that big of a deal. Not to mention all the ramifications, the financial ramifications we've already discussed.
Right.
At the beginning of the night, it's so easy to make that plan. Like, I'm going to be the designated driver or whomever. And if that plan changes, we're in an area in downtown Denton where we have so many choices. We have Lyft, Uber, a cab service if they still do that. There are so many different ways to get home safely than to put yourself at risk or put others at risk, your friends, and so many choices. So if your plan happens to get derailed at some point, you can still make a better choice and get that ride share.
Right. It's it's amazing, like you said, that the options are there, and even if you do have to call a friend, make sure that friend has not been drinking themselves. Make sure that they are sober, because in some cases where I've seen it on our own campus at Texas A&M, where the officer says, "Well, I'll let you call a friend." And the friend shows up and they're in no shape to drive. So he's got two offenders on their hands. And so make sure, have an agreement, have an agreement. If you're home during Christmas break or summer break, have an agreement with your family, your parents, your best friends at home. And because everybody has somebody that cares about them and they will jump through hoops, and if they'll keep it secret or they won't tell a lot of people, and we were talking earlier today about the options of Uber and Lyft, that when moms and dads ask, well, what do you want for your birthday, what do you want for Christmas, don't just say, oh, whatever. Say, I could really use some Uber bucks or a gift card, a Lyft gift card. And in return, we sometimes forget that moms and dads like to have a good time, and adults give them the same so they can enjoy themselves while going out.
Well, that's got to be, a certain amount of peace of mind for those parents. Growing up, I had a close relationship with my parents. I know that's not always the case, but my mom and dad always told me, if you are in a situation and you need me to come get you, just let me know. So that's an option too. I think most parents would much rather get out of bed in the middle of the night, come and get you, make sure you're safe. We can talk about, any type of discipline or whatever later on, if there's any. Mine just wanted me to be honest. I'll come get you, just let me know. But you have to, that's also a conversation to be had.
Absolutely.
Prior to,
communication is key. Also communicating with your peers. If we can transition into the area of just about every college or university I know of has an entertainment district. And that's where everybody goes to meet and have a good time, meet new friends. And again, some of those choices are made in those entertainment districts. You have plans and you start out the evening with friends, 1 or 2 or 3 or more. And then as the night goes on, you meet new friends that you might like to get to know a little bit better. And you tell the person that you're with, go ahead on back to the parking garage or back to your car, and this guy's going to take me home. And that there could never be a more poor choice than to let a friend walk by themselves to any spot, daytime or nighttime, or also if you have been drinking and under the influence, to leave with somebody that you really don't know. And if the person, maybe if they're worth their weight in gold, they will walk both of you ladies to the car. And that's just an example. And so we try to encourage, we're on the same page, that if you are enjoying yourself, make sure the night is one that you have enjoyed. Don't make the choice, because there are those out there that if you're walking by yourself, they could care less if you make it to your car by yourself. They've got other ulterior motives, and they know you may have been drinking. You've got a purse, you've got a set of keys that's going to unlock a very nice car. Do you see that on campuses around here?
We do. I call that the victimization triangle. Triangle has 3 sides. And so there are always going to be people out there that try to hurt people. There's always going to be offenders. There's always going to be bad people making bad choices that want to take advantage of you.
Sure.
There's always going to be victims.
Right.
It's just the way the world is. So we have victims, we have offenders, and then we have the opportunity. The only thing we can change in the victimization triangle is the opportunity. So we try to tell our kids, remove the opportunity. Walk in pairs. Don't hang out with someone you don't know after you've been drinking.
Right.
And we haven't even touched on being in a bar and having something added to your drink that you didn't know what was there.
It's very
That can
prevalent.
completely wipe your memory of a few hours. You don't even know what this guy looked like. So I would always encourage, especially ladies, go out in a group, stay in a group. If you meet someone, great.
Yeah.
If you want to get to know them, they'll still be there tomorrow or the next day or the next weekend. But make sure everyone has a good time and gets home safely.
Exactly. We, in the courses that I teach back on the A&M campus, many of the participants in our classes have received minors in possession. I hear it a lot when they say, well, I just got a minor in possession. Why do I have to take a traffic safety class? And I'm quick to share, because one bad choice can lead to another. And just because you might have been holding a cup innocently for a friend that went to the restroom or standing around where alcohol is being served, doesn't mean that you might make another bad choice, which could mean getting into a vehicle with somebody who has. We also try to stress, as I'm sure you do to your students, is that just because you turn 21 doesn't make it legal to drive while impaired.
Right.
You've got the same responsibilities as when you, in fact, more responsibility. We use that word a lot, as
Right.
you know, and as y'all do too, that everybody has responsibility. What responsibilities do you feel that the students have to themselves, to their families, to the people that care about them, when it comes to responsibility? What are your thoughts on that?
I think everyone has a responsibility to themselves just to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And that's largely a reason why they're in college to begin with. They want to do, they have a career path they want to be on.
Right.
Or they don't exactly know what they want to do, but they're going to get some classes and they're going to better themselves with education. So you have the responsibility to themselves is just to be the best version.
Sure.
And people that love them, I mean, your parents, your family, your friends, who are your true friends, want to see you succeed and be, great in life and do whatever you want to do. Because you have so many choices right now.
Oh, gosh.
You're just now starting out, and the world truly is your oyster. I know that's overused, but it's the truth.
It's so true.
We wouldn't use it so much
That's
if it weren't
right.
true.
That's
So your responsibility is to yourself
right.
and making wise decisions. And to further that, if you're truly my friend, you have my envelope of protection around you too, because I want you to do well, just as you want me to do well, and that includes making better decisions about what we put in our bodies and how we act, our impairment, our safety.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard for college students to see that these are some of the best days of their lives. That we can't promise that it's going to get any easier, but the options and the opportunities become greater and stronger. When it comes to responsibility, we also talk about responsibility to the state of Texas. When you go through take the right steps and the right education, the state of Texas gives you the privilege to drive, and that comes through the issuing you of a driver's license. It's not on their birth certificates. At 16, you get to drive freely and however you wish. And with privileges comes those responsibility, and if you don't meet those responsibilities, those privileges can be taken away.
Because everyone else on the road is expecting you to do your part and to follow the traffic laws and to not speed and to not be impaired. So we all have that expectation of each other. It's when that someone doesn't take that responsibility very seriously is when bad things happen.
Exactly. And making the choice to not drink and drive also keeps you aware on the road. Because you make the choices to drive distracted. You forget to put your seatbelt on. You have more passengers in the vehicle than your seatbelt allowance provides. It also, you have to think that you may be doing, the driver, no matter what age, may be doing all the right things, checking all the right boxes. But as you just mentioned, not everybody is. And you've got to be prepared for the unexpected. Look past the dashboard. You know, you almost have to expect everybody to not be doing all the right things. And I remember even years back as a young driver, one of the when I would go back to college, leave after the weekend at home, and I could today hear my daddy say, be careful out there, it's not you I don't trust, it's the other guy.
It's everyone else.
And how true that is. You probably got the same direction.
Well, and I rode a motorcycle for many years.
Oh,
it was
mercy.
even double because people don't.
Yeah, I tell you.
I had a sports bike for many years.
Oh.
Little negative information about me.
Yeah.
So truly, no one sees you and no one is paying attention, and you have to be so careful. You have to just expect people not to pay attention and not to be on their game.
Right.
So.
And even I guess more in our rural areas, that other guy could be a deer. We're getting ready to go into deer season.
Absolutely.
Critters and armadillos and cattle that get out of their fences. So the other guy doesn't just have to be a person or another car. And from what I've heard, I'm a city girl, but from what I've heard, that livestock can do some serious damage, including serious injury and fatality.
Absolutely.
So we encourage the students that are driving, from this area back home to really pay attention. And just because you've driven that ranch or you're out on your ATV or your four-wheeler doesn't always mean that you're going to be 100% safe.
Right.
So that's something we want to encourage everyone to think about. As we wrap it up, what advice from your heart and before that, what I'd like to also, from my standpoint, to share with students is your law enforcement officers are there to protect you. They're not out there to see how many tickets you can write every day, or to interrupt your day and make life a little bit harder for you. I can speak from experience, having volunteered and worked with a lot of police officers. They are out there to save. You are out there to save lives, not to make them harder, but to save them, to prevent even some of the mistakes we've made as older adults. So I just want to say on behalf of myself as a citizen, and I think others will join me, to say thank you for what you do, that you are real people. You have families, you have friends. Things happen to you just like everybody else. Officers experience catastrophic events just like everyone else does. So on behalf of our communities and the college, we want to say thank you for what you do, because not everybody can do what they do. Otherwise everybody would, because it's not like you see on TV where every crime is solved in an hour with a few commercials thrown in. So I just wanted to throw that in. Thank you.
I mean, obviously people, I say obviously, when people get into this line of work, you're not gonna make a lot of money, and you may not even be well liked, if we're being honest about it. But you do get into this line of work because you want to protect people, and sometimes you're protecting people from themselves.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of where campus police comes in. Again, and the whole reason why we're here is to educate, not to preach at, not to throw law books at, just to educate and to change the behavior so that these people can live their best life.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where this truly all boils down to.
Right.
Any decision, not just alcohol and drugs, but with relationships, with their mental health, with their job placement, just overall be your best version.
Sure. Chief, if any of your students would like to get in touch with you and visit a little bit more in detail about some specifics or areas or concerns that they may be having about themselves or their classmates or other students, how do they reach you?
Absolutely. You can always call, and that's 940-668-4270. You can listen for your campus, and that campus police officer will pick up. You can come by any campus office, and we are hopefully there. If we're not, we will return as we're out doing rounds. You can email me at anshaw@nctc.edu. There's an Alertus app, two-way communication. It can be totally anonymous if you would wish for it to be. And I'm not a counselor. I'm not in mental health, but if you are having issues and troubles, I can get you to the right person. Students, faculty, and staff also have timely care that they can use on their phone, and it's at their convenience. So there are so many avenues and so many ways to get help. The hardest part is recognizing you need help and asking for it. Even as an adult, that I would like to say that gets easier, but it does get easier the more you practice it. As with anything, you become better and better as you do something. So if you need help, please reach out, and we will get you in the right spot.
Oh, that is so good to know. If I was a student here, I would certainly take you up on that. That's and the services are there for the students, no charge, and you have the resource. Like I said, A&M Agrilife Extension, we don't have all the answers, but we can certainly, like you, point them in the right direction to those that do. If anyone would like more information about our Reality Education for Drivers program, otherwise known as the RED program, I encourage you to contact me. Again, that's Mary Jo Prince, and I can be reached at 979-321-5225. Give me a call, and we'll help you as well. We offer some courses online on Zoom, but we're moving back towards some in-person classes. We're ready to get back to normal. We're ready to get back to normal. So, Chief, again, thank you for being with us today and taking the time. It's been a great opportunity to work with you and your team, and Dean Roxanne, Dean of Students, and we're here to save your lives and to make it better for you. So thank you, and have a safe semester.
Thank you for listening to our education and training videos. We're very happy to have had our Chief of Police and Mary Jo Prince with our Reality Education for Drivers programs. Again, September is Alcohol Awareness and Prevention Month, and we want you to have this information to be empowered to make the right decisions to keep safe and sound in your college education and in the future. So be sure to visit our website, www.nctc.edu/awareness. Thanks again.